Hey guys, what's up? So I did a video not too long ago about this beautiful box that I got on eBay for 25 bucks with free shipping. Now I'm not an expert on wood or furniture or boxes, and but I just started not too long ago, maybe like a couple of months ago, collecting old wooden boxes and antique glass boxes. I don't know, for some reason I just like boxes. It's just weird. I go through kicks. And so when I got the box, I had no clue whatsoever how old it was, what function it served, what country of origin, like the basic things about it. I figured for $25, if it was an antique, no big deal. I could just use it for something. Hey, look, I mean, I could easily spend 25 bucks on Amazon just buying junk, mass-produced Chinese junk. Did I say chunk? And so what happened was I was just dying to know more information about this box. And I assumed it was really old. And one of the dead giveaways on it was this very old key. I don't know if you can see it. I added the tassel. I don't know why. I always like to add tassels to these old boxes because it looks pretty. But as you can see here, the key is really, really old. It's pitted. It's probably made out of iron. A magnet sticks to it. I also liked these feet. I don't know if you can see the feet on the bottom. I'm trying to get a focus on it. Very hard to show you. And I really liked the shape of it. And so I decided to go on a message board. And generally, for antiques and collectibles, generally on antique message boards or message boards in general, it can get a little if you're nervous and socially awkward, it could get very nerve-wracking to go on one of those things, because especially if you're a newbie to a particular message board, a lot of times people are very territorial there, and they sort of, it's not that they're not friendly. A lot of people are really extremely friendly and nice, but some of them can sort of, you know what I mean, sort of not welcome you as much, or become it becomes a drama sometimes, because you'll have certain people that think they're experts or have been on that forum for such a long time that they believe that whatever their ID that they come up with is the ID, if you know what I mean. And if somebody else comes along and says, no, I don't agree with you, that's this, that, and that, they end up not, sometimes I really don't see major arguments, but you can see it gets a little uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. So I posted a video, actually the video I made showing this box when I got it, and people got a little put off by the fact that I put a video instead of photos. And I thought a video was way better than photos because the video shows more detail. And some of the people got a little testy with me. And one of the longtime subscribers on that forum ended up saying, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you're too lazy to post post photos. Well, I'm too lazy to help you out with your identification. Then somebody else said, well, your video, why would you put a video here? Pretty much I don't have 4 minutes of my life to waste to watch one of your shaky videos. And then of course they put in, no, not to insult you or anything. Well, when someone writes that, yeah, it means I'm insulting you. So then a couple of people, friendly people, came by and were actually quite nice to me. They put their opinion in that this box is not very old at all. It's from the 20s, and a lot of people said, oh no, that's the 1950s. But not being an expert, because I'm not an expert, but by looking at this box, I knew that had to be wrong. There's no way in hell that this box is from the 50s. I don't know, something about it screamed to me age. And if you look at the hand-turned feet. Over here you see some hand working. This really, really, really screams old to me. So somebody came along, and he's an auctioneer, and also he comes from Europe, and he specializes in antique furniture, especially British furniture. And he actually owns an auction house. He's been selling hundreds, if not thousands, of antique period 19th century and 18th century furniture for many, many years. And he said he disagreed with everybody because a lot of the people there claimed that this box was very low quality wood, very uncollectible, with no collector's interest. One guy said it's really worthless. It's just like made very cheaply. And a couple of other people agreed along with him. And I was like, oh God. I mean, sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. You know, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to hear this was really old. But so that guy I was telling you about from Europe came along and said, absolutely not. This is a mid 19th century English or American mahogany miniature wood blanket chest or box. And it was most likely made by an apprentice. He said it had turned feet. He said the etrusion, you know, that little lock keyhole, was hand filed, indicative also of the era. He said the key was definitely from that time frame. He sees keys like this from that time frame all the time. Actually, let me take it out and show you. And you can see that this is not a new key. This is not something that would be made in the 50s. Now, the other people came back and said, I disagree with you. This is a 1920s, most likely actually 1950s box. The joinery inside is 20th century. It's machine made, and especially the joinings of the blind rabbits is indicative of that. The lock they claimed was not old. I don't know if you can see. And the hinges were not old, but if you look at this box, I mean, you can clearly see that that's not true, including look at the interior. Look at the darkening and the patina on that. I mean, that is pretty old. So that guy came back and said, absolutely not. I've been dealing with enough of these pieces to know that this is a mid 19th century piece. He explained why. He even explained about the feet. Then one of the same people came back and said, no, that lock is certainly 20th century, from the 50s, most likely. As a matter of fact, let me just try to show you the pins inside of it. I really can't get a close-up on that, but that gentleman had said, no, that's actually a hand made lock. And he explained that the bolts on it were actually handmade, without a doubt, that these rabbit joints, these blind rabbit joints, actually were made even as early as the Middle Ages, and it's not quite uncommon to see that. Well, the other guy came back and said, absolutely not. I completely disagree with you. Your information and facts are wrong. And they were going back and forth. But the guy from Europe explained, he gave an explanation for everything with proof that this box was what he said it was. And the other guy just kept coming back and kept saying, I disagree with you. And I was just like, why did I even come here? Oh my God. But I really liked the fact that I found out what this was. Now, I had no idea that this would be a blanket chest, especially in miniature. And blanket chest was something that they had used way back in the day. When the season was over for blankets, they would place it in a large scale size one of these boxes to keep it away from the moths and from getting damaged. You know, back then they didn't have like Walmart where your blanket gets moth holes in it and you keep running back and forth and getting new ones, or on Amazon for really cheap. So they had to preserve everything they had, and a lot of trunks and boxes were made back in that time frame. Now, to actually, like when I found out when he said it was a miniature blanket chest from the mid 19th century, I did some Googling, and sure enough, I found examples that were very similar to mine, and they were miniatures as well from around the same era. For example, I saw this one dated 1855, very similar to mine with the turned feet, the shape. And it sold for $4.50. Now it's a little bigger than mine. Bigger than mine. Here's another. Actually, if you can see here, it's very similar to mine in shape. Same type of feet, same type of lock, same type of top that slopes down on the edges. And this one was dated from the 1840s. A little bigger than mine, and it sold for $400. Now the same people that were disclaiming that this box was antique, had told me, oh, it has really no value. It's pretty much worthless, not a collectible item that people would be interested in. No more than 15 to, I'm sorry, 10 to 15 pounds is the value. Well, oh my goodness. Thank God I didn't listen to those people, because I would have ended up possibly placing this on Etsy and selling it for like 50 bucks. And I could have lost out a lot of money. Now, I've seen a lot of other miniature blanket chests that look almost identical in style, especially with the feet and the joinery, selling for even more than that, for like $500 to $995. So, note to self, if you go on message boards, there's going to be a lot of people that claim they are experts and that they know what they're talking about. Now, it's free, so I shouldn't even be complaining. And, it's a great source of information a lot of times, but there are going to people that they go, be people that they're going to go in there and they're going to banter back and forth and argue and sort of like try to prove each other wrong. Wow, what, I was getting anxiety from dealing with the people coming back and forth and arguing with the guy that really knew what he was talking about. So now I learned something, you learned something. If you go on a message board, yeah, you might have to end up popping popcorn, because it might become might become a drama or a soap opera. And so now you know this is a miniature piece. Now, what the guy told me was that apprentices, before they got cut loose, because they had to be under contract with the furniture maker for approximately 5 to 7 years. Now, before they were cut loose and out of their get out of their contract, they would make a piece in miniature. And he said a lot of people get confused, especially in America, with these miniature pieces of large furniture in small scale, believing that they're dollhouse furniture or actually salesman samples. And a salesman sample was something made in miniature, and they're quite valuable, actually. Like a salesman would go around and say, I could make you this in a larger size. And it was just like a sample, of course, of the piece of furniture they would sell in a larger scale, but in a smaller sample. So once again, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you all soon. So long.